What's up, guys? Welcome to In the Corner podcast. Your boy Chris, my brother Randall.
What's good?
We're going to talk about the state of boxing today. There's a lot of big changes that have been going on. We got some other entities entering the business of boxing, which is interesting. And we got another guy who's been in the boxing game, well, recently, Turki Al-Rashid.
Turkey.
Riyadh season, all their money, and partnering with other people.
Dana
White coming in. He's creating TKO boxing, another boxing league, which, you know, as a boxing purist, traditionally, I'm always like boxing versus MMA kind of thing. Right? UFC is their world.
Yeah.
And then boxing is.
Well, how it's ran, though, you're saying?
How it's ran, but still two different sports. And when I see a MMA, it's prize fighting at the end of the day.
Yeah, prize fighting, but it's more structured like
it's a company.
Professional league.
Yeah, it's a whole infrastructure company.
It's not like a bunch of, how would you say, like just solo.
Yeah, boxing is a bunch of dudes with money getting together and putting events on.
Yeah.
Right. And that's how it's always been ran.
That's how it's always
independently.
But it started off ran by the mob, though. So that's why it has the backdrop of like that. It's always iffy. Like, like if somebody gets robbed in a fight, you're like, that's just boxing.
That's boxing.
That's just boxing.
Yeah.
You know,
maybe they'll clean that's a good. Maybe that you're saying that can clean up the sport.
Possibly could clean it up to where it's a little more fair, I guess. You don't have those questions as much. Like when somebody get like Roach and Tank, for instance. You know, when that stuff like that happens, you look at it like, what? You know? Like that.
You took a knee.
You took a knee. Went to the ropes. Got wiped off. Told the ref to stop counting. Like, who does that? That's a knockdown.
Yeah,
that's a disqualification.
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
you know,
I thought that was a knockdown.
Yeah,
I thought Tank kind of lost that fight.
100%. Not kind of. I thought he lost. He
had his moments. He had outboxed.
He got out.
He had his moments, but Tank got outboxed.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Roach gets that rematch.
I hope so too.
But to touch base on these changes going on in boxing, the boxing could change in the future.
Yeah.
You know, there's probably gonna be different networks, fights on different days.
Yeah.
With Dana coming in.
I mean, we're already seeing, you know, it's on Netflix, it's on Amazon,
Netflix, yeah.
You know,
like without no HBO and Showtime now.
It's up for grabs.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if there's I'm hoping there's gonna be more opportunities for fighters.
Yeah. Okay, but I see that, right? But to how Dana structured MMA, they're not getting paid as much per fight, right?
There's a huge difference.
There's a disparity between what boxers get, the top boxers though.
Yeah.
And what the top MMA fighters get. But if you look at it through MMA, there's not that big disparity like in boxing.
Yeah.
Through the classes of boxers. So they get paid more evenly, like in an even structure in MMA, but boxing is more of a bigger
they're trying to market certain guys.
Yeah, they're trying to market
throwing money at other guys and contracts.
So that if you look at it that way, it'll make, I guess,
like the top, I would say, you correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know how, but the top guys in the UFC are like the ones making money.
But not even that good money though.
Not even.
Not even maybe a fight.
Maybe two. Maybe. Guys coming up in boxing are making six-figure ready.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
Right?
But those guys, who would you say those kind of guys are? Those are like you think it's like, okay, Richardson, Hitchens and stuff, like those young.
They're making six-figure.
You think they're making Abdullah Mason and Carmel all that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I don't know where Abdullah Mason is. They're still kind of at the beginning.
Yeah.
But they're getting paid way more than guys trying to come up in the UFC.
Definitely.
UFC 15,000 maybe.
Yeah.
You know, compared to a guy who's maybe at the same position in his career in boxing they're making close to 100 G's already.
But do you think that makes the competition better in the UFC?
In the UFC? I mean,
instead of them pushing one person, like them pushing.
They have to push everybody. Everybody has.
Matches have to be made correctly. You know what I'm saying? You gotta styles and whatnot. You gotta see what your guy looks better against. And, you know, UFC, they're like, hey, you're getting paid $15,000. You better go fight
It's just
anybody.
that you don't have no choice.
You
too.
have any choice.
Because you don't have all these other entities, your manager, this promoter, that promoter. So it makes fights probably you can make fights happen.
And that's what kind of Turkey's doing. You know, he's kind of making fights happen. The fights that we wouldn't see. We wouldn't have seen that. I feel like we wouldn't have seen a lot of these fights we're getting now like 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like the Bivol Beterbiev, the rematch, how quick it was.
Yeah.
The Usyk Fury fight, like you know, it would have been a lot of dancing around and a lot of trash talking, but I don't know if these fights would have got made so fast. And the rematch is so quick to happen. You know,
one thing,
you know, they would have tried to drag it out, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the game, at the end of the day, is money. Money talks. Boxing is all about money. Boxing will sell itself out for what the fuck ever. I mean, the Jake Paul shit, all the influencer,
100%.
fighter, YouTubers, because it just makes money. So they milk these fights out. You know, to make more, and they're throwing all this money. So it's gonna be interesting, and they're creating their own belt, which I don't know what kind of belt that is. Like, it's hard to view that belt as an established belt
because you don't have established fighters.
You don't have established fighters coming up trying to work your way.
You see, I think they're gonna try to throw Canelo and Crawford
that's
the face of that belt, but as the face of that. So I think that's gonna be like the start of it.
He's already, you saw that Canelo couldn't even bring his belts on.
That's why I think he's trying to push that. Like, hey, listen,
this
those belts don't matter. You fight for this belt, so we're gonna try to push this as. Look at who's fighting. Look who we got. We got the best in the world right now. The two best fighters. They're fighting for our belt. So now as you got some credibility now. So now you can kind of go for that.
Man, I don't know. Man, I'm so mixed about it because I mean, you have all, you know, WBC has been hypocrite to a lot of things how they handled the WBC with Canelo. They allowed him to hold on to the belt for 3 years. You know, they know that Canelo makes a bunch of money, so let him do what he wants. And it makes it unfair for fighters who want to fight for the belt.
Exactly.
They've been in the boxing game for a long time. And Turk, I don't know how experienced he is being in the boxing game, but they just got a bunch of money. You know,
and I think how he's doing it is amazing. You're like, hey, listen, those belts, cool. It got history, you know, tradition, but being able to dance around and not fight who the public wants you to fight, who just everybody wants you to fight, is weak, bro. That's why I like some of that. I like some of that UFC, you know, how they handle things like.
So you like it? You like that? You like UFC coming in or Dana coming into?
I like how he's doing that, but I don't want to see how they. I don't want that pay structure to be like how the UFC is. You know, I want them to still make.
Because I always look at like the boxing game is like it's a well-oiled machine. It's just it's been around a long time, you know. And then you got other guys who, I'm not gonna say they don't have experience. They're in the business of prize fighting, but the boxing game is just a different playing field. You know what I mean? And Oscar, you know, he was saying that too about Dana. You know, I don't know if he knows how it is to come into boxing. Not that Dana's no stranger to it, but managing boxers is a completely different playing field.
Definitely. That's why I think you couldn't do a pay structure like the UFC. Like you couldn't say this is just a base
boxer's
salary.
not gonna want to.
No, hell no.
You're not gonna make shit.
No.
You know.
But you got more eyes on boxing, so you'd have to split up the money accordingly to what they make. You know, so it wouldn't be just 2-3 million. Hopefully they'll still be making, you know, 20-30 mil or, you know, 80-90 if it's, you know, the big names. You know, when they're bringing eyes on pay-per-views and packing out damn stadiums, it's like, hey, you can't pay them just pennies and expect to take most of the bread and, you know, use it yourself. I mean, like you got to pay these guys out.
You got to pay these guys. Boxing is, you know,
it's more popular.
It is. I mean, some people be more biased. They like UFC. Some people don't say boxing is dead. If you follow boxing, I won't say boxing is dead.
No.
You know, I follow boxing
right now, I feel like.
What's that?
It's making a big resurgence.
I think so. But people who don't watch boxing much, they'll say, boxing is dead. But I'm like, you don't you're not watching
You're not
the
watching.
fights.
Yeah.
You don't even they don't even know who Better Be even Bivol is.
Yeah.
Or they only know Bivol because he
He
fought
beat
Canelo.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
you know, they got the casuals.
Mhm.
And then they got they like to watch UFC because everyone fights everybody.
Everybody fights everybody. They fight a lot. It's often, you know, the names of the guys.
Yeah.
There's more backstories with these guys. You know what I'm saying? You can
Yeah,
follow them and be more involved with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I think UFC does a good job of like promoting their people.
Yeah.
So that they're more of a household name to these people that are fans of it.
Yeah.
They should do that more with boxing to make it, instead of just the top guys like, you know, the Mayweathers and Canelos and, you know, things like that.
Yeah.
But you got to start pushing all these people to be household names.
Yeah.
And they got to kind of start selling themselves a little bit more. Like we should all know Crawford. You know, people know Fury, but they don't know Usyk that well.
No, yeah.
You know, but it's like these guys should be pushed, and it should be, you know, the shows they have for UFC, like the Tough, you know, the Ultimate Fighter series and stuff, when they're bringing that into just regular basic TV, where you can watch these guys. Now you see their backstories.
Yeah.
It should be somewhat of the same thing you're trying to do with boxing. Just make it more commonly known.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So people feel more involved in it.
Yeah.
You know?
I do like what Riyadh Season is doing for promotions and how they're building up fights. And I want them to come up. I do miss, you know what I missed? HBO 24/7.
Yes.
And you know they had Fight Camp for Showtime, which I like.
They got something for the Zone too, I think. They do something for the Zone.
They do. They have episodes. It's just not like how it was when you had.
It's not consistent. They're
and it depends on how big the fight is too.
Exactly.
You know, like let's say if David and Bivol fight each other, which we'll talk about that because apparently it's not gonna. Doesn't look like it's happening.
Really.
But I would love for there to be a 4-part series,
definitely
profiling more. I mean, they've covered David, with, you know, the previous fights. They'll have episodes. But there's some business obstacles going on with trying to make Bivol and David. They want him to fight for an interim or something like that. I don't know. I didn't read in too much detail.
Okay.
But they're probably looking to fight maybe Callum Smith. Does Callum? No, that wasn't a belt. He was fighting.
No, they got there's no belts available.
Yeah. They're looking maybe Callum Smith or.
I would like that fight. You know, I would like to fight just because I think it would be amazing styles. You know, matching up. They're both bangers. They're gonna fight on the inside. They're gonna stand there. And
you giving Callum a good chance against David? I mean, anything can happen.
No,
I think David's gonna.
I mean, it's boxing. You know, there's always that opportunity.
Yeah.
But I think Benavidez, his work rate and just his inside fighting is dope, bro. Just you know how he just keeps on. He's active.
He's pressure.
You know, he's pressure. I think he wins that fight pretty easily. He might even knock him out.
So Better Be out the picture right now.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're gonna do a rematch. I think it's gonna go the same way.
I think so too. Yeah. Even though I had Better Be for both of them, I wanted him to win because I like Better Be.
Yeah.
He's more entertaining to me.
Yeah.
But I think I'd rather see Benavidez and Bivol.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would.
I thought you wanted Better Be.
You know, I would be okay with it. I wouldn't be mad at that if they fought for the third one, the trilogy, of course. You know, but I would rather see Benavidez and Bivol right now at this time because, you know, Better Be he's gonna be 40 or
he's
41.
Old. He's old.
You know, how much more did you got left in the tank?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is it the same Better Be it's definitely not 5 years ago, you know, so I'm not taking away nothing from Bivol, but we're not seeing the best of Better Be. You know what I'm saying? It's not the best Better Be. As years go by,
he's getting older. He's getting older. Yeah.
So let me see a young Benavidez against a young Bivol.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great fight.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a great fight.
But I'm not mad at Callum Smith getting in there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's a good opportunity for him.
And it's a barometer too, because he fought Canelo, right? And you see what Canelo did to him.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like let's see what that looks like with Benavidez in there, since we're always comparing kind of like opponents.
Yeah.
You know, with how he looks against them.
Yeah,
Even though Bivol fought Canelo too, and we want to see how that looks.
Yeah.
Just for that showdown, if it ever does happen.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Just in case,
because you know Canelo, Turkey seems like he's trying to put that together. You know, the 4-fight deal with Canelo.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. You know, he got 2 this year, 2 next year. You
Yeah.
know, you got Crawford later on. I think Crawford wins, baby.
Let's go, bud. I know I had Canelo's size just being too much.
Yeah.
But man, a part of me is thinking Crawford can pull this off, bro.
I think
pull this off.
I think it will be a amazing
just because his boxing skills is I think will show against
Canelo's
Canelo.
A good ass boxer.
He is great. He's a great boxer.
Bro, you know what I seen the other day? The Jacobs Canelo fight.
Danny Jacobs.
And his head movement.
Yeah. That's great.
That was a master class. Yeah. I'm watching it like, I'm rewinding it like this.
Yeah. You think Crawford's gonna miss like that though?
No, hell no. But I'm just saying, like, Canelo's an amazing boxer, bro. He's not just a powerful
he's great.
slugger.
He got a good jab, good head movement. He can crack. It's still Canelo, bro. It's Canelo Alvarez. He has to be, and we've never seen Crawford. He's going up 2 weight classes. Definitely, he's not going to fight at 54 now. No. He's campaigning at 68 now. Yeah. But it's opening the door. Like, are you going to stay at 68? Are you going to retire?
No. You see, so you have to pick wisely at that.
Is he going to go straight into that fight in September?
Yeah. Why would you do anything else?
Wouldn't you want to?
Listen, he loses to Benavidez. He loses. Well, excuse me, not Benavidez, because Benavidez is there at light heavy now.
Yeah.
But I think he loses to Caleb Plant. I think he loses to
Crawford.
Yeah. I just think so because they're so much bigger. You know, they're so much bigger.
Big. That's a huge difference.
Right. And the styles, and I think, just me personally, but I think it's a smart decision to fight a Canelo, and it's a perfect timing because he's gonna get all the belts after he beats Skull, Cinco de Mayo. But I think it's a perfect matchup for him to be able to win. You know what I'm saying? I think it's for Crawford.
Okay.
To fight a guy that's his size. You know what I'm saying? But
Canelo. But he's going straight to Canelo.
Straight to Canelo. I think that's a smart move. I think you work on getting your size right. You get your weight up.
Yeah.
Right, but build it up. Smart. You know, like as a trainer, like you wouldn't just want to jump right in there in a couple months.
Yeah, I would think you would go fight somebody at 68 first. Get your little tune up coming into super middleweights.
You might lose a tune up, bro.
Crawford
at 168. I feel like who you gonna fight bro? These guys is bigger.
The top five guys. I mean,
Canelo's always a smaller fighter. He's always a smaller fighter. Yeah, he's always a shorter.
But he got size on him. Like he's stocky,
but he's a shorter fighter. Like bro, his power translates.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? His power translates up there.
Yeah.
Crawford against Madrimov at 54, it wasn't translating like it did at 47.
Yeah, Madrimov was,
yeah. So I don't know, man. I ain't no trainer, nothing like that. But I'm just looking at I don't see him jumping into to 68, fighting somebody as a tune-up because you might get tuned up. You might get.
He got bars coming in.
Bars.
You might get tuned up.
Don't fight tuned up because you might get tuned up.
Better watch out. You might get tuned up.
I'm a Crawford fan, bro. I love how he fights. I love his aggression in the ring. I love how he finishes fights. He's a killer when he gets in there.
Yeah, and he's got IQ.
He got IQ. He got athleticism. He got all that good shit.
Yeah,
right?
I
think he's a throwback fighter.
He's a complete fighter.
But so is Canelo.
Canelo's a complete fighter.
I think the timing is right for that fight.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The timing is
They're gonna make so much money with that fight.
Stupid money. And I'm gonna be there for
and I think that promotions that Riyadh season is gonna do is gonna be amazing for that.
I can't wait for that little movie they do.
Oh, it's gonna be I don't even know what they're gonna do. They keep coming up with these trailers just wow.
Like little movies. I'm thinking that movies they're gonna drop in the theaters. I can't wait. You know?
So another big Riyadh season card coming up. Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, and I don't want to discredit other guys. Ryan Garcia versus Rolly.
Discredit him.
You got Devin Haney against Ramirez, and then Teofimo against Barboza.
Yeah,
all good fights.
Yeah,
all good fights.
Garcia,
Rolly.
I don't think that's gonna be a good fight. I think that's the least competitive fight out of all those.
Yeah, I can see that.
Personally.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I do see Ryan, catching him. Coming in,
we're
gonna see what role he comes with.
We're gonna see.
He's got a newer trainer who he's been with maybe a couple fights ago. Salas, who I met when I was in camp with Diego.
Yeah,
and he was there, and he's a really good boxing coach.
Okay.
Like he's got hella champions.
Yeah.
He's got Ugas, very Cuban style. I don't know if he's teaching that with Rolly, but I mean, we're gonna see. Ryan's back with Reynoso, and Reynoso don't play around.
Not at all.
No, he's not gonna let him.
He's on the shit, bro. Ryan looks like he's.
He looks focused.
Yeah,
he looks. I think he's happy to be back in boxing.
Yeah, and that could be a scary Ryan, bro, because we seen him unfocused against Haney and what he.
And he was admitting to all like the drinking he was doing and all that. Bro. I'm like, okay, he was really wilding out.
And how he still beat his ass, bro.
Yeah, he still whooped him. So we're gonna see a focused Ryan Garcia.
Yeah,
and if he is, but the same thing with Devin Haney. Are we gonna get a focused? I mean, he has to.
He's always focused, but he's just not. He
just made himself look dumb by suing Ryan.
Yeah,
You're
in a violent sport. You gonna.
It don't make no sense.
Don't make no sense, bro. Makes you look soft.
I mean, what the dad is saying.
Yeah.
But they're talking about him, but
they had to drop. I think they dropped the lawsuit for them to be able to fight.
Right? You're wasting so much time. Yeah, you're just wasting money, and
plus, bro, that made you money, bro. Fight Ryan, you gonna sue the guy that's gonna make you more money. To fight in a rematch?
And then are they gonna rematch?
Yeah, that's what this is for.
Oh, it's for that.
Yeah,
yeah.
This is the only thing that's for. If they get past they fights, this is what they're doing. And then Tio, I don't like Tio personality wise.
Yeah.
He's like a heel. You know what I'm saying? Like WWE wrestling, like he's like a bad guy, like a villain type.
He's trying to be that guy.
But it's obvious.
Yeah. He's trying too much.
But his schedule, what he says he's about to do is crazy work. Because he says after this fight, he wants to go fight Boots. He wants to, and then
I like that. I like that he wants these fights.
Yeah.
The thing is, he backed out of a fight that was a tough fight with Hitchens.
Was he supposed to fight?
I don't know if he back. I don't know. He probably got a better offer. I don't know what Tio's trying to do. I'm like, bro, you got to fight.
You got to fight.
You got to fight, bro.
Because he's always the one that's talking about people are backing out against him and people don't want to fight him. But
But I like what Tio's doing because he's fighting. Like he has a better resume than like Tank.
Yeah, 100%.
I think he has a better resume than Tank. Like although Roach was a good fighter.
But see, before he
wasn't a champion.
Before he lost, we wasn't saying that he was.
No, you're right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now that he lost, I was like, yeah, he's a good fighter. But before it was like, oh, that's cake work. You know what I'm saying? That's easy, light work for Tank. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna run through him. But now we're looking at him like, damn, is Roach that guy?
Yeah,
I think he is. That guy?
I think he is.
Or
I think he's gonna be
having a bad night.
I think Roach is good.
You think Roach? I think Roach is good. I think Tank fought the fight. He fights all the time.
And you got a guy who kind of knows you in the amateurs.
Yeah.
Kind of like Devin and Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, I fought you how many times in the amateurs? I know you.
I know you.
I'm not scared. That's why when you see, remember you said like how Roach, you weren't sure if he wasn't confident.
Yeah.
He was so relaxed.
Yeah.
Or maybe he knew he was just gonna lose.
Mm-hmm.
But he was just like, I'm not looking at you as Tank Davis. Bro.
Yeah.
You're Gervonta. I fought you in the amateurs. You ain't shit.
Yeah.
Like, I know you.
Yeah.
I know you became this big star, but ain't nothing changed. Mm-hmm. Both our skills have been excelling.
Yeah.
You got more experience, but
I'm
coming here for you.
Yeah.
So
I can't wait for that if that rematch does happen.
I love that rematch.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of Floyd. Just I don't know the skills between those two fighters.
Mm-hmm.
Reminds me of Floyd and Zab Judah.
Oh yeah,
in a way. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit. Just because of very high skill.
Very high skill.
Yeah, you just see how sharp these motherfuckers are, bro.
Yeah,
just super. You see the difference. You know what I mean? So,
that was a good fight, man. I mean, it was very entertaining, bro. Roach did his thing, bro.
I don't know what Tank was thinking by taking that knee. You can't just take timeouts in boxing.
No, but he did it. I mean, you can. I mean, he did it.
But the ref should have called that a knockdown.
Yeah, but he did it, bro.
I don't know if their boxing was trying to save him on the scorecard. Like, if that was a knockdown, Tank's losing.
Yeah, I think he's losing regardless. Even
and then they made that excuse. I don't know if it was an excuse where they couldn't make a replay. They couldn't show a replay. There was a glitch. I'm like, when is there what? So I don't know.
You got one job, replay, and
that's it.
That's it. What?
You can't time out in boxing.
Yeah,
it's plain and simple.
Yeah.
So he took a knee because something about his hair grease.
Grease or hair or some shit, bro.
I don't know how it is to use hair product like that.
I mean, I know, but he should know too. He said,
Yeah,
it's not there.
Yeah.
You know, at one point you had a nice.
Yeah, but you know, I don't. Yeah, it's while. It's been a while, and it's almost like I forget.
Do you?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We should bring it back. Bring back some pictures, some throwback pics.
Throwback pics. Maybe just come in on the show and wear, and just notice, see if people notice. Yeah. Get one of those. You see when they, and it looks real when they glue the shit on.
Get the waves. You need the waves. I'm gonna get you a do-rag, bro. I'm gonna get you a brush. You feel me? Get you some.
You swear I could get waves?
You can.
No.
I swear to God.
But like Randall, man, this shit ain't working. It looks the same. If anything, it's pulling my hair off.
All the hair is right here.
My scalp is bleeding from brushing this so damn much.
Hey, you got a brush, bro. Them shoulders are gonna be yoked on the brush. I swear to God. I swear to God, them shoulders, man.
Well, yeah, man. No hair for me, but okay. Don't think about. I don't know when. It didn't happen in the last fight. What product did you use last time? It didn't make no sense.
It was an excuse, 100%.
Yeah, so I hope. I want to see Tank. I want to see him rematch that fight. I want to see Tank fight Shakur.
You know what? I'm not even on that fight no more because I don't think that's ever gonna happen. Go fight Keyshawn Davis.
Yeah,
go fight Keyshawn, bro.
You know what? Keyshawn might fight
De Los Santos.
Yeah, that's a great fight.
Oh shit! Yeah. Hey, my God.
Yeah,
bro. That's a great fight. Because De Los Santos is
he can crack. He can crack.
Yeah, he can crack.
Yeah.
And you know, Keyshawn ain't running from shit.
No.
Shakur did.
Keyshawn is good in the inside.
Yes, he is. Yeah. He got that bud.
Yeah.
That type of
bud they all put the same
skill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That bud skill on the inside. And he likes that.
That is a good fight.
That's awesome. That'll probably be free too. That's not gonna be no pay-per-view.
No, that shouldn't.
Maybe an undercard or something.
That should be on an undercard.
Yes, it should.
Or maybe it's like on the undercard of Tank and Roach.
Yeah.
And the build-up.
Or maybe, you know what? And this is the thing with boxing. That should be a free fight on a weekend on Netflix or something. You know what I'm saying? Where they just throw it out there just to promote.
You think they're big enough for that?
But see, they're not. But I think you promote a fight like that and you say, listen, we're gonna have boxing because now we know that boxing's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, but you gotta be a big name.
But see,
on Netflix.
We got to stop thinking like that because then now the younger up and coming fighters ain't getting action unless they're on an undercard.
Because Netflix, that's Netflix on Netflix's tab. Like,
yeah,
ain't nobody owns this fighter. Yeah, I would love that.
And then you get the casuals that are like, they might be going through shit and it pop up. Bam. Now you got this another name, Keyshawn Davis, and then you put, hey, Gervonta was in the same weight class. You got to kind of promote it to where, hey, this guy's in.
You hear that, Netflix?
Yeah, come on, Netflix. Put him on. But that's how you make a fan base.
Yeah.
You know, you start building a fan base. You got to start, putting them out there so they see these exciting, because that's going to be an exciting ass fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they see these guys banging. Just like with Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano on the undercard of the Jake Paul fight.
Yeah.
Right? Now people are like, oh, I want to see her fight again. I want to see them fight again. Yeah. Now they're interested. Now you get the casuals that's like, damn, women, oh, this fight is dope. I want to see these fighters again.
Yeah.
So now they start to pick up and say, oh shit. Okay, so now he's in Gervonta's weight class and they get at some time. Okay, now let me follow his his rise.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like build it up to where it's like they get more
make them accessible.
Exactly.
To people who don't know. Mm-hmm. You hear that, Netflix? Put them on.
Somebody.
Not just Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
Somebody.
A lot of people watch that
Netflix,
shit.
Bro, throw on something that the zone, throw on something that's free where people could just watch it and it's entertaining.
So we got other upcoming fights. What other upcoming fights? We had that Ryan Garcia, which I think Tio. It depends. I think Tio
should get past
Barboza's tough, but he barely won his last fight.
Yeah.
Teofimo, who's focused on point. I think he beats Barboza.
But see, I think that's weak that we even have to say that, a focused Tio.
That's what it is, though.
That is what it is. But that's part of boxing. Like, you got bad nights, you got good nights. You got to make sure your bad nights ain't the night you fighting. You know
yeah.
Like, that counts, bro.
And the thing is, the bad is, he's like, I don't even know who's his trainer. He's not even Reynoso anymore.
No.
So I don't know what's going on with that. Just because Reynoso is training Ryan Garcia, and and Munguia is now with Reynoso, and Munguia fought. But Munguia's respectful, dude.
Yeah,
You know, they're very respectful. And then you think you got Ramirez beating Devin Haney?
I got Ramirez beating Haney,
Yeah.
bro. I think he's gonna come. He's gonna go at him hard, bro, and just try to smother him and
Did you
just put
say
a lot of
pause?
pressure.
Because you said okay. I had to think about. I got it right
There's
away.
people out there that the pause police, so I gotta make sure.
I didn't even that went straight out of my head until you said pause. I'm like, oh,
I don't even know.
I wouldn't have saw that.
I just gotta make sure that you know what I'm saying. I'm covered on all bases. You know
Right.
But yeah, so I think yeah, I think there's you know you just gotta bring the fight to Haney, and
we're gonna see. Well, I mean, I do think when Haney bro. Before he fought Ryan, I was like, Haney's pretty good. Haney's a good fighter. He don't got that much power, but then we were saying, damn, he got power when he clipped Regis. And he was big, so
because I was at 140.
Was at 40. His first time at 40.
What are they fighting? They're fighting at 47? Are they fighting at 120?
Nah,
they're fighting at 40?
I think it's a 40.
Is that 40?
Wait, Ramirez at 40?
I'm not 100% sure. I
forget where Ramirez is at.
Yeah.
I want to say Ramirez is at 47.
Okay. Because they're all big. They're all big as hell.
Ryan's big. Ryan should be fighting at 47, honestly.
I think he's fighting at 40. I think it's 47.
But Rolly's at 47? Damn, that's wild.
Yeah.
Rolly's
you say he's a little dude, right?
He's kind of small. Yeah. He's kind of small. He's short. He's shorter.
Yeah.
But he's in shape. He got a solid body when he comes in shape. But Ryan's big.
Yeah.
Ryan's like 5'10",
okay,
5'11", right?
Yeah.
And he's like big. Yeah. And he's getting into his like man. Mm-hmm. I want to say he's like 20. What is he, like 27, 28 now, something like that?
No idea.
We're gonna see Ryan's focus. We're gonna see how he comes. And then what's after that? May. This is a lot of fights, bro.
Yeah, you got Canelo Skull.
So that's on a Friday, right?
So I think the Garcia fight.
I think on a Friday.
And then
Canelo. He's fighting in Riyadh.
Yeah,
that's gonna be during the day.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because there's a lot of Mexicans on the West Coast, but that's fine. They can watch it earlier.
Yeah. Do some day drinking.
And be done.
Yeah.
Passed out at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Man, if you're 35 and older, you're gonna be sleeping out there. You know what I'm saying? The kids might be out there kicking it, but 35 and older, you have a couple drinks in the day, and then
that's it. But
out of here, bro.
Out.
That's a good day though.
And then anyway
on Sunday.
Yeah.
So
that's a lot of boxing.
I'm glad he's finally fighting in America, bro, because he's a
boxing fan. You guys, Inoue, dude from Japan, he's bad.
He is.
This guy is
monster.
Bad.
The monster.
Some people he's, right there behind Terrence Crawford, pound for pound.
Usyk, Terrence Crawford. Yeah. You got the Usyk in there.
Yeah, Usyk. Yeah, Usyk.
Usyk. I got him top 3. I got him third on my top 3 right now, man. I got him after Usyk and Crawford, bro. Because
he fights at 22.
Yeah.
122 pounds.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It's phone ring. But fights at 22 from Japan. Only been fighting in Japan.
Only
just going through motherfuckers.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like Japanese Manny Pacquiao, but like, you know what I'm saying? So
very bouncy, very powerful.
Yeah, he's powerful. He knocks people out.
He fights. His fighting style is exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
It's not like he's just outclassing people. He is getting in there. He got knocked down 2 fights ago, I think.
Yeah.
Got knocked down, came back and whooped the ass.
Yeah. Who did you get knocked down?
I forgot who.
It's not Nonito, right?
No.
Nonito did well against him.
Yeah.
But Nonito's he's just very experienced.
Yeah.
In a way, watch that guy. He's fighting May.
Is that third day?
Yeah. The weekend of Canelo's fight, May 3rd or something like that. But a lot of fights coming up. Boxing's gonna change soon. Mm-hmm. We got some Dana White's coming into boxing, creating a boxing league. TKO, they're creating their own belt. I don't know how some of you guys feel about that. A part of me doesn't really like that, but boxing needs to change.
It gotta evolve,
and it's gotta evolve. And if it can get boxing more out there, I'm all about it. I'm hoping more fighters can get more opportunity, for upcoming fighters, and all these belts, interim. It's a little confusing.
Yeah.
The Ring Magazine belt, that just means that's the best guy in the division. If you got the Ring Magazine belt, 4 different belts. Now you got the TKO belt. And it's just like, I don't know how they're gonna shift that. How Turkey is gonna try to shift that and only make it about his belts because that doesn't even want to have the guys hold the belts.
Yeah.
Even though I like to see that on stage,
with all the belts,
because it's like established. It shows. It promotes the fight better. Yeah. Like, damn, that guy has all the belts. Mm-hmm. It looks better. Like, let him floss the belts a little bit, man. Yeah. Don't make it about. It's all business, and it's biased towards their brand.
Yeah.
Right now, they're seeing it as we're going to compete against WBC and all this.
I like that move because it shows like, hey, fuck all that. We're doing this belt. This is the belt
but it's just one. Now it's just.
I'd rather see just one, bro.
And it's just there's not enough credibility for this new belt. Like it's not established. No one's won it. It hasn't been passed around. If it has a little bit of history behind it, then it has that.
Yeah.
That I can't explain like the buildup of having that belt.
Yeah.
But like it's like, what the fuck is a TKO belt?
Yeah.
You know, it's a new league. Yeah. WBC. How long has it been around? IBF, WBO, it's got.
But the negative connotation with it with those belts though, because it's like the people that kind of get pushed to the forefront and they get to skip certain fighters for the mandatories and fight other ones.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot. Yeah,
I mean, there's pros and cons for both sides of it. I want to see where it goes. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to see what they can do to make boxing more, I guess, more favorable to just the casuals. And so it's not following hella different belts and knowing what organization they're fighting for or fighting against or whatever it is. It's like, okay, you got one belt. Kind of like UFC where it's like, you know what they're fighting for.
Yeah.
This is the best, fighting the best for one belt. Yeah. And you know these guys is the best.
One belt for each division.
You know.
Yeah.
It's not like Kambosos getting a belt and then Devin Haney like, you know what, I'm going to unify. I'm going to pick this guy because I know I could beat him, no problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're not doing that. You got to fight the top. You know what I'm saying? You got to fight the man.
Yeah.
I think
the guy with the Ring Magazine belt. That's the one.
Yeah.
Anyhow, a lot of big fights coming up.
Yeah.
We'll check you guys on the next video. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.